Hello everyone and welcome to ITLS Academy Empower the Youth. So today in this lecture we will going to understand what is food groups and food pyramids. Okay, so in the previous lecture we have discussed about the basic of food sciences and what are the nutrient values, as well as we have discussed about the balanced diets also. So in this particular lecture we will have a more emphasis on what is a food groups and what is a food pyramids. So this is one of the most important topic of today's CUET course. So let us understand this topic and let us understand what is exactly a food science is, because whenever we are starting anything we have to learn about what is the basic of the food science and what is a food science is all about. Okay, so food science is applied science that is devoted to the study of food. So since if anybody asks you that what is a food science, so simply a science that deals or that study the food is known as food science. Or you can also say the discipline in which the engineering, biological and physical sciences are used to study the nature of food, the cause of deterioration, the principle underlying the food processing and the improvement of food for the consuming public is known as food science. So a science that deals with all the engineering, with all the biological as well as the physical science, okay, and the science which generally study the nature of the food, means what is the nature of food. We have discussed this nature of food in the first lecture, so you can refer to that lecture to understand what are the nature of food. Even a science that study the cause of deterioration, means a food, okay, we all know that food is a very good source of energy, and without food no life is possible on this earth. So some food have more shelf life and some food have a less shelf life. So this shelf life says that how much period of time this food will remain in a good quality, right? So what are the causes of deterioration means how the food gets spoiled, means what are the causes of deterioration. So for this understanding, if we talk about the deterioration, so the food is mainly deteriorated with the different kind of microorganism. Food is deteriorated by is if there is any change in temperature, if there is a more moisture content, so everything it comes under deterioration, means whatever thing that a food is leading to the spoilage is known as the cause of deterioration. So one of the major cause is microorganisms. So microorganisms is the main causes of deterioration of any kind of food. So the principle underlying the food processing and how you improve the food, means what are the various method that you can use to improve the food. So all these things we study under the food science. So basically in in a very simple language, in a one word definition, food science, it is a science that study food and it study the nature of the food as well as it study the causes of deterioration. Okay, so this comes under the food science. Okay, now what is a nutrition? Again, this question is very important. What do you understand by nutrition? So nutrition is the science that that interprets the interaction of nutrient and other substances in food in relation to maintenance, growth, reproduction, health and diseases of an organism. It includes food intake, absorption, assimilation, biosynthesis, catabolism and excretion. So we all know that food, it is a good source of energy, and every food, okay, if we talk about any type of food, let's say if we talk about a cooked vegetable, so a vegetable, it is a good source of different types of vitamins, different types of, you can say, iron, means it has a good source of vitamins, okay, so nutrients, because every food, whether it's a vegetable, whether it's any meat based food, or whether it's a dairy product, every food had a good source of nutrition. And this nutrition is very important when it comes to you can say in a bodybuilding or in the energy intake of the food. So nutrition is again very important. It is a science that simply study, or you can say interrupt the interprets the interaction of nutrients, okay, and other substances in the food. Okay, so this is what is nutrition. Now coming to the main part, that is the food groups. So if we talk about the classification of food, so the classification of food can be done in many ways. We will be looking into some of these classification today. So classification based on nutrient value, classification based on functional classification of food. So let us take an example. Whenever we go into the market and if we purchase anything, because due to an increase in population, now people are becoming very aware that what they are consuming, because everybody is very health conscious nowadays. So whenever we go to a supermarket, we even if we are purchasing anything, we just see the nutrient fat contents. As you can see in this image, a person is checking what are the nutrients that are present in it. Okay, what are the energy, means how much calories are there, how much sugar is there, how much fat is there. So everything is placed at the back of the label of the, you can say, any food items, and from there you can check what all nutrient value the food is consuming. Okay, now, the food have. Okay, so nutrient value is something that is very important for a consumer to see what he is consuming, because after COVID, now people have become very aware. Not after the COVID as well, nowadays people are very conscious about their health, and they want to know what they are consuming. Okay, so on this basis, so the food groups is being classified into two types, that is two is done into two things, that is classification based on the nutrient value, and the classification that is functional classification of food. Now what is food group? So if you talk about food, so food is mainly classified into 11 groups and based on their nutrient values. So there are 11 groups. In MCQs, this question may came that in how many groups the food is being classified. So there are 11 food groups in which the food is being classified based on their nutritive value. Okay, so the first one is the cereal and millets, and the second is the pulses, third is your nuts and oil seeds, fourth is your vegetables, then comes your fruits, then it's your vegetables and milk and milk product, eggs, meat, fishes and other animal food, fat and oils, sugar and other carbohydrate foods, and the last one is condiments and spices. So these are the 11 food groups, okay, in which the food is mainly classified. So we all are aware that cereal, millets, pulses, they have a huge amount of nutrient content in it themselves. Even the vegetables is a good source of different types of vitamins. If we talk about the fruits, they are a good source of different types of iron, means of course the vitamins. Okay, some fruits are rich in vitamin C, some fruits are rich in vitamin A. So in this way, every food has its own nutritive values. Okay, and here one question generally arises that people think कि ठीक है अगर if they have a deficiency of protein. Okay, let's say if a person is having a deficiency of protein, so there are some specific food that he can consume and can increase their protein values in their bodies. Okay, so if we talk about the food that are rich in protein, so what are the foods? Like milk is a good source of protein. Even the meat products are good source of protein. For the vegetarian people, soya bean, mushrooms, they are a good source of protein. Okay, so in this way a person can consume protein by consuming some specific food. Okay, but for a longer period of time, if we are telling like for a very longer period of time, so it is not possible for a person to consume a protein in everyday's life. Why? क्यों? क्योंकि क्या होता है कि फिर प्रोटीन का कंटेंट इतना ज़्यादा हो जाएगा कि जो आपके अदर ग्रुप्स है ना, अदर न्यूट्रिएंट है, उसका तो वैल्यू कम हो जाएगा. वाई? बिकॉज यू आर ओनली कंज्यूमिंग प्रोटीन. सो यू शुड ऑलवेज कंज्यूम अ बैलेंस्ड डाइट टाइप ऑफ अ फूड. Okay, so this is very important, that never ever consume anything in excess. You should always consume everything in a balanced way. Now comes the food groups. The first one is the cereal and millets. So cereal and millets contains different types of pulses, different types of wheat, different types of rice. In the market there are different kinds of rice. There are brown rice, there are black rice, there are white rice. Okay, there are different types of wheat that is present in the market. Some is the that is सिंपल वाला wheat जो घर पे आटा हम लोग खाते हैं. There are a wheat that is a multi-grain wheat. Okay, so everything is means that is rice, wheat or ragi, puff cereal. So that they all come under the heading of cereal and millets. About 70 to 80% of the diet of a low income groups, that is 6 to 10k in India. So this is something we will understand in detail someday, that if you see the graph of the economy of India, so the group of people that earn in between 6k to 10k monthly income, so they mainly consume the cereal and millet type of food groups. Okay, because this group people, they only consume mainly the cereal and the millets. Okay, now it contains 6 to 12% of protein. Okay, how much protein they contain? They contain 6 to 12% of protein. Sources of vitamin B, that is thiamine, niacin, in okay, vitamin B6, they have a good source of vitamin B. Contains minerals such sorry the contains minerals such as phosphorus and iron. Ragi is an exception. It is rich in calcium. So if you see nowadays, everybody likes ragi. Okay, ragi is one of the most popular food groups. Sorry for a different it is one of the type of a ragi is one of the type of a food items that is being used by different kinds of people. Even the small babies, the toddler one also, they use ragi, because ragi is a good source of calcium. It have about 0.4% of calcium. In this type of food groups, they may lack in different types of vitamin, like vitamin A, D, B12 and C. There is a dal that is known as the yellow wali dal. So it is good in protein. Okay, this is an exception because it has a good source of vitamin D. Now if we talk about the pulses, so pulses, they are rich in protein. Since from the class 6 we are aware that yes, the pulses are rich in protein. It is a good supplement of cereals, and it contains about 19 to 24% of the proteins. If you must be familiar with the dal that named like tur dal, that is the arhar dal. Some people call them arhar dal, some people known as tur call it a tur dal. So the tur dal or a arhar dal, and apart from that the moong dal, they are they have a good source of protein. About 19 to 24% of protein they contain. So the sources of vitamin B, so they have a good sources of vitamin B also. They have a good sources of minerals also, but they have a deficient of which type of vitamins, like vitamin A, D, B12 and C. So pulses or millets or your cereal items, they are, yes, of course, they have a deficiency of vitamin D, A, D, B12 and C. So this vitamin you can consume it with the different kinds of fruits, because some fruits are good in vitamin A. Now puff rice. puff rice, or you can say puff Bengal gram, that is known as the chickpea, or you can say the chola or the that chana. So they are a good source of the protein as well. If you consume chana with kishmish, so it is a good source of iron also. Now tender pulses like Bengal gram, green beans, they have a good source of, or you can say they are not a very good source, but yes, they have a fair amount of vitamin C. Okay, now these are the images of different types of flour. If you consume rajma is a good source of protein. Rajma have good source of protein. Even there are different kinds of rajma. Black rajma is there, red rajma is there, even the white rajma is there. So they have a good sources of protein and different types of minerals. Now comes to the nuts and oil seeds. Okay, so nuts and oil seeds, they have a good source of protein. If you consume nuts like dry fruits, so they have a good sources of protein, oh sorry, fat. If you see nuts and different types of oil seeds, they have a good content of protein as well as the fat, like soya bean. So they contain about 18 to 40% of protein. They have a good source of vitamin B, vitamin E, and minerals like phosphorus and iron. Sesame seeds are rich in calcium. Nowadays, if you see, because nowadays there is a era, you can say era of YouTube. If you go to YouTube and if you search some of the food items that have a good source of energy in it, so sesame seed is there, that is a chia seed is there, it is a good source of protein, good source of chia seed, not protein, sorry, chia seeds have a good source of calcium in it. So these sesame seeds, chia seeds, this flax seeds, nowadays people are becoming very aware towards these types of seeds, and these seeds are rich in calcium. Even if you used a milk substitute for infant over 6 months, you can use oil, this nuts and sesame seeds. But again, they are deficient in which type of vitamin? Vitamin A, D12, B12 and 6. Okay, now these are certain nuts and oil seeds like whitish sesame seeds, sunflower seeds are there, sunflower seeds, even the ground nuts, the yellow mustard seeds that you used in making different types of dishes, like for example poha. Neem seeds are there, flax seed that we have just talked about, this black sesame seeds. So these seeds have a good amount of protein as well as fat content in themselves. Now coming to the vegetables. So vegetables is alone have a very broad classification. If you see vegetables, so vegetables is being divided into the three groups. The first one is the green leafy vegetables that contains the spinach, different types of lettuce leaves are there, the guava leaves are there, even the roots and tender tubers, means the root. Okay, if you see lotus stem is there, like other vegetables it can contain many other, like lady fingers there, potato, sorry, even what you call shimla mirch, that capsicum is there. So vegetable is being classified into the three one. The green leafy vegetables, they have a good source of carotene, that is provitamin A. If you see the sources, means these leafy green vegetables is a good source of calcium, riboflavin, folic acid and vitamin C. If you see that 100 grams for adult and 50 grams of for children for are optimum for carotene, folic acid and vitamin C. So the green leafy vegetables have a good source of vitamin C, they have a good source of iron. Okay, they are a good source of folic acid, the cheapest and easily available among the protective food. So if you see that these vegetables, as if you compare with any other food groups, if you compare with any food groups like nuts, leafy vegetables are quite cheapest, okay, among all of the food groups, and yes, they are easily available. Okay, and they have a good source of different types of nutrient. Now coming to the fruits. So fruits, they have a good source of vitamin C. They may also contain carotene, like mango and papaya have a good sources of carotene. Amla and guava, they are rich in vitamin C. Even the mosmi, okay, is a good source of vitamin, have a good source of vitamin C. If you talk about the oranges, means all the citrus fruits, okay, they have a good, so they are good, rich in vitamin C. Tomatoes, citrus fruit, cashew fruits, pineapples are the good source of carotene. Apple, banana and grapes, they are a poor source of vitamin C. Okay, if a person is having a fever, so it is recommended that you can use a good source of vitamin C, that of course provide you with a good amount of energy. Okay, now coming to the this chart, this, if you see that avocados, nowadays avocados are in trends. Everybody is having avocado toast. So avocado has its own benefits. They have a good source of different types of vitamins, protein. Okay, so if you see that avocado, they have lots and lots of fiber. Avocados are, they are rich in antioxidant. They are a good source of carotenoids. They have a good source of important for the trace vitamins. Okay, they are phytonutrients. They have a fat soluble vitamin A, E and K. They have a good source of monosaturated fats. They have water soluble vitamin B and C. So that is one of the reason nowadays people are started consuming avocados nowadays, and they have lots of fibers in themselves. They have good amount of folates. Okay, so this is about the avocado. Now coming to the milk and milk product, so we all know that milk is rich in calcium, milk are rich in fat, milk are rich in protein. So in generally, milk has a good source of protein. They are rich in protein. 1 liter cow milk is equal to 35 grams protein, 35 grams fat, 1 gram calcium and 1.5 mg riboflavin. Okay, so if you compare different means, in milk also there is a classification. There is a milk of a goat, there is a milk of a sheep, there is a milk of a cow, there is a milk of a buffalo. Okay, so every milk have different nutrient content. So here cow 1 liter cow milk contains this amount of thing. Now there is a different, and yes, buffalo milk, if you compare buffalo milk and cow milk, so buffalo milk have a good fat content in itself. They have a higher SNF content. Fat content is more. And in cow milk as compared to buffalo milk, they have a less content of fat, they have less content of SNF. So there is a difference. Before coming to the difference, this milk is deficient in iron, vitamin C and D, and it is a good sources of protein. Now full fat milk powder, it if you see if you see the difference between a full fat milk powder and a skimmed milk powder, then full fat milk powder is 8 times richer than milk from the cow milks, and it contains 26% protein and 26% of fat. They are used in place of a fresh milk. Even if you see the skimmed milk, since the name suggests skimmed, they are prepared from a fat-free milk. No fat, no vitamin A, no SNF content. They have a 35% of protein, and they are 10 times rich than the skimmed milk and supplement diet for the children, not for infant. Now coming to the eggs. So eggs again are rich in vitamins. Eggs are rich in proteins. Okay, so hen egg, they have a 13% of protein, 13% of fat. So a single egg, by consuming a single egg, you can get 13% of protein and 13% of fat. They are the good sources of vitamin A. They have a good sources of vitamin D, but they lack in vitamin C, because vitamin C is mainly present in the citrus fruit. Okay, so this is the thing with the eggs. The yellow part, that is the yolk, they have 4.5 grams of fat. They have saturated fat for about 1.6 gram. They have a cholesterol level of 184 grams. They have a carbohydrate of 0.5, proteins 2.5. So if a person wants to lose weight, so he or she should always skip the yolk part. He or she should always consume the white part, because the part does not contain any fat, any saturated fat, but yes, they contain 4 grams of protein. So if you compare yolk and the white portion, so yolk contain less protein as compared to the white portion. Then the meat, fish and other animal foods like meat, they are richer source of protein, but again they are rich source of vitamin B, but they lack in vitamin C, A and D. They are fish. If you talk about the fish, they are rich in protein. Fishes are very good for your eyes, okay, because they have lots and lots of phosphorus in it, but they have deficiency in the calcium content. The small fishes, if you see the smaller one, okay, so they are rich in calcium. Even the fishes are rich in protein as well. So this is the all about the food groups. Now the functional a classification of the food. So the food is being classified into the three parts, that is energy yielding foods, body building foods and protective food. So the energy yielding food, that is rich in carbohydrates and fats. They are rich in cereal, roots and other tuber, dried fruits, sugar and fats. Body building foods are milk, egg, meat and fish, and they are rich in protein. Pulses, oil seeds, nuts and low fat oil seeds, flour rich in proteins, medium nutritive value. Protected. So foods is again divided into the three parts. And some food, they give energy. Some food are used in the body building. Some foods are protective one, like the foods like green leafy vegetables, fruits. Even they are even the milk and egg products, they are the protective food. Means how protective? Because they fight against different types of infections. Okay, now comes the food pyramid. So again, what is food pyramid? So food pyramid, or you can say or a diet pyramid, it is a triangular diagram that representing the optimum number of serving to be eaten each day. Means how much food you should eat in a day, that is represented in a food pyramid. Let us understand this. So this is the food pyramid. So in the daily basis, you should all this one, the last one is the larger one. Then coming to the this one, the fruit, it is, you should always consume this, then this, then this. So the first, the upper portion says the dairy product, then is the protein, then it's the fruits, then is your grain, and the last one is the vegetable. Okay, so balanced diet for an adult human. If you see the balanced diet of an adult human, so an adult human should consume about fat and oil like 5 grams, okay, sugar 5 grams, milk is for like 100 grams per into 3 times. Okay, then pulses, if you see the you should always 30 grams of pulses, vegetables 100 grams, fruit 100 grams, cereal 30 grams. So depending on means elderly man, if you see, this is a for the adult man. I'm not talking about the elderly man. For the adult woman again. So depending upon the gender, depending on the upon the age, the balanced diet changes. Okay, now for from a pyramid to plate. Okay, if you see this diagram, that it says that from pyramid to the plate. So this is the USDA's original food pyramids. Okay, it is the food pyramid. This is one of the examples just to show you. In 1992 to 2005, so in this period of time, they says that you should consume milk, yogurt, cheese cheese groups like 2 to 3 servings. Okay, then the meat product like 2 to 3 servings. Vegetables you should consume more. Okay, you should people are consuming the different types of cereal, rice, pasta and everything on a daily basis, so they have 6 to 11 serving. So in this way, it comes from the pyramid to the plate. Now these are some of the important MCQs question that could be asked in the interviews as well as from in the examination. So which of the following components are major nutrient in our food, like carbohydrates, protein, lipids, or vitamins, minerals, or the option is all of the above. So these are certain MCQs. You can take a screenshot of this and you solve this at your place, and if you have any doubt you can just simply leave the query in the comment section below. Now this is the fourth and fifth, so these you can take the screenshot, everybody. I'm just waiting, and you can take the screenshot. Now this question number 4 and 5, so you solve this at your place and let us see how's the answers. If you have any doubt you can simply leave in the comment section below. So thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. You can follow ITLS Academy on different portal, and this is our website, that is www.itlsacademy.com. This is our helpline number. Even this is our WhatsApp number, that is 7080833450. You can simply call on this number and get updated. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.